Welcome to Timeless Stoic Learning. Every woman has a breaking point. The question is, what happens when a Sigma female hits hers? In a world that rarely understands her, the Sigma female navigates life with a quiet intensity and unparalleled self-reliance. But when she reaches her limit, the consequences are anything but subtle. Brace yourself for an unfiltered look at the 5 most harrowing transformations that occur when this lone wolf pushes beyond her breaking point. This is not a story for the faint-hearted. It's a raw revelation of the fierce power that emerges when her boundaries are shattered. The most dangerous person is the one who listens, thinks, and observes silently. Get ready to witness how she channels her darkest moments into a relentless, unapologetic surge of power that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about her. Number 1. Sigma female monk mode. When a Sigma female hits her breaking point, she goes into what you might call monk mode. This isn't about shaving her head or donning robes, though she might surprise you with that. But it's more about diving into a serious period of self-imposed solitude and intense focus. It's like she's decided to step away from the world and lock herself in her own mental stronghold, sharpening her mind and spirit. During this time, she becomes a master of discipline. Early mornings, late nights, strict routines. She's got it all dialed in. It's as if she's training for a marathon. But instead of running, she's racing through books, ideas, and personal goals. Her schedule gets packed with activities that fuel her growth, and she cuts out anything that doesn't align with her new focus. Social media? Gone. Unnecessary small talk? Not a chance. She's all about upgrading herself, and distractions just don't fit in. She digs deep into self-reflection, like a detective piecing together clues about her life. She examines her past actions, beliefs, and relationships, being brutally honest with herself. This isn't about feeling sorry for herself or blaming others. It's a strategic review. She's figuring out what worked, what didn't, and how she can build a better version of herself. It's like she's her own life coach, pushing herself to reach new heights. Her diet, exercise routine, and even her sleep patterns get a serious makeover. She starts eating foods that boost her brain power, working out in ways that make her feel strong and invincible, and treating rest like it's the key to her next big breakthrough. It's like she's turned her life into a science experiment, tweaking every variable to find the perfect formula for success. People around her might find this sudden withdrawal a bit worrying. Friends might wonder why she's gone off the grid, and family might think she's become a recluse. But she's not hiding, she's recharging. This intense focus and solitude are her way of gearing up for a comeback that will blow everyone away. It's like she's saying, "Don't worry, I'll be back. But when I do, you won't even recognize me." And when she finally emerges from her self-imposed isolation, she's a force to be reckoned with. She's gained a clarity and strength that's almost otherworldly. Her goals are sharper, her vision clearer, and her determination unshakable. She's ready to take on the world with a passion that leaves others in awe. So if you see a Sigma female slipping into monk mode, know that she's not retreating in defeat. She's preparing for a transformation so profound, it will shake up everything around her. She's honing her inner warrior, and when she's ready, she'll come back stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever. Number 2, they behave like they have nothing to lose. When a Sigma female hits her breaking point, she becomes someone you definitely don't want to mess with. It's like seeing someone walk away from a car crash without a scratch, except she's leaving behind the wreckage of her old life. She starts living as if she's got nothing left to lose, and that's when things get really interesting and a bit intimidating. First off, she stops caring about what others think, which is both freeing and a little unsettling. She might suddenly quit her job, end a toxic relationship, or pick up a new, daring hobby on a whim. Why? Because she's done with the nonsense and ready to pursue whatever truly excites her. This new version of her doesn't hold back. If she thinks her boss is out of touch, she'll say it. If she believes she's meant for something greater, she'll chase it with a relentless drive that borders on reckless. Her wardrobe might change too. Out go the muted tones and practical choices, and in come the bold colors and adventurous styles. It's like she's dressing for the life she wants, not the life she's been expected to lead. She'll start living by the motto, "You only live once," but with a twist. You only live once, so why not go all in? Her social media will likely get a makeover too. Forget passive-aggressive posts or vague updates. Now it's all about her unfiltered thoughts and unapologetic selfies. She's done pretending everything's fine and is all about showing her true self. This honesty can be refreshing but might catch those off guard who thought they knew her. When a Sigma female feels she has nothing left to lose, she taps into a rare kind of bravery. She'll take risks that leave others in awe and a little bit nervous. She's the type who might decide to backpack across Europe with nothing but a journal and a sense of adventure, or start a business from scratch with a go big or go home attitude. It's not just about being wild and free. It's about reclaiming her power and rewriting her story. There's something captivating about watching someone live with such abandon, but it's also a reminder that when pushed too far, even the most composed and self-reliant individuals can become incredibly powerful and unpredictable. And honestly, who wouldn't want to be around for that kind of spectacle? Just make sure you're not in her way. Number 3, they use their anger as energy for change. When a Sigma female hits her breaking point, she doesn't just get angry, she gets strategic. It's like watching a top chef turn frustration into a recipe for major change. Her anger becomes powerful fuel that drives real, tangible improvements in her life. First off, she channels that intense energy into clearing out the excess. Toxic friends, out. Dead-end job, goodbye. Unfulfilling habits, not anymore. She doesn't just vent about her problems. She uses them as a guide to figure out what's not working, and then decisively cuts it out. It's like she's tidying up her life. But instead of asking if something sparks joy, she's asking if it's worth her time and sanity. She starts making moves that shock everyone around her. Maybe she's had enough of being undervalued at work, so she finally pitches that groundbreaking idea she's been holding back, or even starts her own business. Her anger gives her the bravery to take bold steps she might have hesitated on before. She's done being a background player in her own story and is ready to take center stage. Her anger also sharpens her focus. Suddenly, she's working with laser-like precision. Her productivity soars because she's determined to prove to herself and everyone else that she's not to be underestimated. It's like she's got an inner drill sergeant pushing her hard and she's all in. Projects that once seemed impossible now feel like just another step toward her next big win. There's a certain humor in how she tackles challenges with this newfound energy. It's almost like she's thinking, "Oh, you think I can't do that? Watch me." She turns every slight and frustration into a challenge to be greater. It's a bit intimidating and hugely inspiring to see her in action. Her anger isn't just a problem to be dealt with. It's a controlled force clearing the way for new growth. People around her can't help but notice the change. Some might be intimidated by her intensity, while others find themselves drawn to her drive. Her transformation is magnetic, making everyone curious about what she'll do next. It's as if her anger has turned her into an unstoppable force, and everyone else is just trying to keep up. So, when a Sigma female hits her breaking point, she doesn't just get mad, she gets moving. She uses her anger as a springboard for change, turning every setback into a comeback, and every frustration into a stepping stone toward a life that's not just different, but dramatically better. Number 4, they become unrecognizable. When a Sigma female hits her breaking point, she goes through a transformation so profound that she's almost unrecognizable. It's like seeing someone go from being a regular person to an unstoppable force, except there's no dramatic reveal or flashy changes. The shift is deep, but it shows up in every part of her life. First, her demeanor shifts. That easygoing, laid-back attitude, gone. Instead, she radiates a fierce, laser-focused intensity that makes people do a double take. When she walks into a room, you can almost feel the energy change. It's like she's gone from being a relaxed individual to someone who commands attention and makes no excuses. Her priorities undergo a complete overhaul, too. What used to matter, like fitting in or avoiding conflict, suddenly seems insignificant. She's driven by a clear, uncompromising vision of what she wants and where she's headed. This newfound clarity makes her relentless in chasing her goals. If something or someone isn't helping her move forward, they're quickly pushed aside. It's a bit like a major cleanup, but instead of dust and clutter, she's getting rid of negative influences and dead weight in her life. Even her style changes. That wardrobe of neutral tones and practical pieces, replaced by bold choices that reflect her new confidence. She's not afraid to stand out anymore. In fact, she thrives on it. Her appearance becomes an extension of her inner transformation, and it's hard not to notice. She dresses like she means business because she does. Each outfit says, "I'm here and I'm not messing around." Her social interactions shift dramatically too. Small talk and superficial connections no longer interest her. She becomes more selective about who she spends time with, favoring deep, meaningful relationships over casual acquaintances. Her social circle might shrink, but it becomes richer and more supportive. She's surrounded by people who inspire her, challenge her, and support her growth. The rest? They're politely but firmly cut loose. Professionally, she's a force of nature. She tackles challenges with a new vigor that leaves colleagues scrambling to keep up. Projects that once seemed overwhelming are now handled with ease. She's not just attending meetings, she's leading them, setting the agenda and pushing for innovative solutions. It's like she's been turbocharged and nothing can slow her down. Her communication changes too. She's more direct, more assertive, and unafraid to speak her mind. If something's wrong, she calls it out. If she has an idea, she pitches it confidently. Her words carry weight because they come from a place of deep conviction and self-assurance. People start listening more closely, realizing that when she speaks, it's worth paying attention to. In essence, when a Sigma female reaches her breaking point, she sheds her old self and emerges stronger, more resilient and incredibly focused. It's like watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, but with a lot more attitude and a wardrobe upgrade. She's not just getting by, she's thriving, and in the most extraordinary way possible. Number 5, they disappear completely. When a Sigma female hits her breaking point, one of the most dramatic things she might do is disappear completely. It's not that she's gone off the grid entirely, but she pulls back from her usual hangouts and connections. This sudden vanishing act can catch people off guard, but for her, it's a strategic retreat. She's not ghosting people for fun. She's stepping away to recharge and reassess. It's like she's hitting the reset button on her life. She might deactivate her social media accounts, stop answering calls, and become a pro at avoiding social events. It's her way of saying, I need a break from all this noise to find my center again. During this time, she dives into a cocoon of solitude, where she can think clearly without the constant buzz of other people's opinions. She's not looking for validation or sympathy. She's looking for clarity. This period of withdrawal is when she's most introspective, analyzing every part of her life with a fine-tooth comb. She's asking herself the tough questions and being brutally honest about what she wants and needs. Her close circle might start to worry, sending messages like, "Are you okay?" and "Where have you been?" But she's not ignoring them out of spite. She just needs the space to breathe and the quiet to listen to her own thoughts. It's like a mental detox, clearing out all the stress and negativity so she can come back stronger and more focused. This disappearing act also helps her evaluate her relationships. The people who truly care will respect her need for space while still being there when she's ready to reconnect. Those who don't understand might drift away, but she's fine with that. It's a natural selection process, leaving her with only those who genuinely understand and support her. When she finally reappears, it's like seeing someone return from a long journey, transformed and revitalized. She's got a new perspective, a clearer sense of purpose, and a stronger sense of self. Her time away has given her the tools she needs to tackle whatever comes next with renewed energy. So, if a Sigma female seems to vanish into thin air, don't panic. She's not running away, she's recharging. And when she comes back, she'll be more formidable and focused than ever. It's her way of saying, I'm back and better than before. Number 8, they master the art of silence. When a Sigma female hits her breaking point, she masters the art of silence in a way that's both intriguing and a bit unsettling. This isn't just your average quiet. This is a deep, almost tactical silence that demands attention. It's like she's turned down the volume on her life and is now operating in stealth mode. She stops engaging in the usual chatter and superficial conversations. Small talk? Not her thing. She doesn't waste time on idle gossip or trivial debates that used to fill her days. Instead, her silence becomes a powerful statement. It's as if she's saying, if it's not meaningful, I'm not interested. This new quietness isn't about being withdrawn. It's about conserving her energy for what truly matters. People around her might find this sudden shift both intriguing and unsettling. It's like she's put up an invisible barrier. When she used to be the life of the party or the go-to person for advice, now she's more of a silent observer. Her presence is still felt, but she's not actively participating. This can leave others feeling unsure about where they stand with her. Her silence isn't a sign of defeat or weakness. On the contrary, it's a powerful form of control. By not engaging in every conversation or argument, she's setting boundaries and taking control of her mental space. It's a bit like watching someone effortlessly dodge a barrage of verbal jabs while staying completely calm and composed. This silence also makes others pay closer attention. When she does speak, every word carries weight. Her carefully chosen comments are more impactful because they're rare and deliberate. It's like she's become a sage dispensing pearls of wisdom. When she finally does say something, people listen closely. In essence, her mastery of silence is a strategic move that keeps people guessing. It's her way of reclaiming her power and focusing on what matters most to her. There's something almost dramatic about it, like watching a superhero who controls not just what she says, but how she's perceived. So if you find yourself on the receiving end of her silence, know that it's not about you. It's her way of showing she's in control and making her own rules.